Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. I am happy to join the inaugural session of the 5th International Conference on Disaster Resilient Infrastructure. I congratulate Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi for hosting this timely event. Bangladesh joined this platform in July 2021. Ladies and gentlemen, due to the adverse impacts of climate change, we are facing unpredictable climate events and disaster, which are damaging our establishments and resources in massive scales. Strong and resilient physical infrastructure is needed to withstand and adapt to changing conditions and from shocks and stresses. Recently, the world witnessed a series of catastrophes like massive earthquakes in Turkey, Syria and Afghanistan, and hurricane in Caribbean, US and Canada, and flood in South Africa. Last year, we in Bangladesh experienced a series of natural calamities causing huge economic losses. It is important that all future infrastructure, construction and system must be resilient to disasters to protect our investment. Excellencies, as one of the most climate vulnerable countries, Bangladesh frequently experiences natural calamities like flood, cyclone, tidal surge, storm, drought and thunderbolt. IPCC report 2022 predicts Bangladesh is at the risk of 2 to 9% of GDP losses by the mid and end of the century due to climate change. Our major response to natural disaster dates back in 1973 when father of the nation Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman formulated Cyclone Preparedness Program. Under the program, he built 1,000 cyclone shelters in coastal areas. People used to call these centers as Mujib Killa. Early in 1970, a devastating tidal surge claimed about 1 million lives in southern Bangladesh in absence of resilient infrastructures. In 2009, our government established the Bangladesh Climate Trust Fund with own resources. Nearly 800 projects have so far been implemented at a cost of $480 million. During our recent presidency of the Climate Vulnerable Forum, we launched Mujib Climate Prosperity Plan to build a climate resilient, prosperous country. In 2022, our government launched the National Adaptation Plan with the projected need for $230 billion by 2050. Earlier, we formulated a long-term Bangladesh Delta Plan 2100 with the aim of building a resilient and prosperous delta for our future generations. My government now attaches importance to science-based infrastructure design and implementation. We recognize the need for involving our local communities to make infrastructure work for them. We have implemented 1,000 flood control, drainage and irrigation schemes to cover more than 6 million hectares of land. Our government has carried out dredging and re-excavating of 1,400 kilometers of rivers. We have built nearly 22,000 kilometers of embankment alongside 139 coastal boulders. The infrastructure are giving protection to more than 20 million flood vulnerable people. We have so far conducted 1,229 kilometers of riverbank protection work. For disaster response, we have built 4,530 cyclone shelters, some of which are also serve as schools in regular times. We are now constructing 550 mujib villas on raised ground for multiple uses, including sheltering people and livestock during natural calamities. Under our flagship Ashran project, we have so far built 700,000 houses, and those were handed over to the landless and homeless people at free of cost. These houses are strong enough to endure any natural disaster. We also built 139 five-story buildings in Cox's Bazar to rehabilitate climate displaced people. We are scaling up nature-based solutions like coastal green belt, floating vegetable cultivation, and millions of palm tree plantation. We are using our local level trained volunteers as well as digital information and service centers to provide early warning. As a result of our action, the number of deaths due to natural disasters has decreased significantly in recent years. The global community also recognized the efforts of Bangladesh, and as recognition, we have been awarded with Champion of the Earth and many more accolades. Ladies and gentlemen, since origin of the climate change are global, the solution and management would have also to be global. Only if the global efforts and individual countries' efforts are streamlined through responsive policy, planning, and governance, the actions are likely to be successful. Bangladesh is ready to join any initiative at the regional and global levels dealing with the impacts of climate change. I call upon for coordinated global efforts and shared vision for climate adaptation, mitigation, and resilient infrastructures. We believe commitment and compliance on financing mechanisms are indispensable for addressing the unforeseen crisis. A greater sense of solidarity among the governments, international and regional organizations, private sectors are required to build a sustainable and resilient future for all. At the same time, we need to bring changes in our way of thinking in this discourse by incorporating science, technology, innovation, and resilient transition. Once again, I would like to reiterate Bangladesh's commitment to working with the global community hand in hand to ensure a better world for all of us. Thank you all.